As people approach their 70s, many are faced with an unexpected shift in priorities. The idea of achieving more, owning more, or chasing status often loses its appeal. Instead, the focus turns to peace, fulfillment, and well-being. However, the world around them often sends the opposite message. Advertisements push products, financial advisors emphasize growing wealth, and social media displays an endless parade of curated lifestyles. This can leave people feeling as though they are missing out or falling behind. The truth is that this mentality is exhausting and unsustainable. As health and energy levels shift, chasing more can feel like running on a never-ending treadmill. Many older adults report that this constant pursuit of more leads to stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. If you feel this way, you are not alone. The good news is that a growing body of research suggests the opposite approach may actually lead to greater happiness. Imagine waking up in a home that is entirely free of clutter. Every item in your space serves a clear and purposeful role in your daily life. There are no piles of unused gadgets collecting dust, no clothes hanging unworn in your closet, and no someday projects lingering in the background, waiting for attention that never seems to come. The air feels lighter, and every surface is clean and open. Your calendar is equally spacious, with no back-to-back obligations or unnecessary appointments filling your day. Instead, you have the luxury of time. Time for a slow, thoughtful breakfast where you savor each bite. Time for a peaceful morning walk where you can fully appreciate the sounds of birds singing or the warmth of the sun on your face. Time for deep and meaningful conversations with loved ones, unhurried and sincere. This scenario might sound like a distant dream, but for many older adults who have embraced a simpler lifestyle, it is a lived reality. They have discovered that when the excess is stripped away, what remains is far more valuable. Without the constant pull of endless tasks, they feel a sense of freedom and control. Rather than being overwhelmed by a never-ending list of responsibilities, they have space in their days to focus on the things that truly matter. The mental clarity that comes with a clutter-free home and a clear schedule is undeniable. People who experience this shift often describe it as finally being able to breathe. Their minds feel as open as their physical surroundings, and this state of calm extends to every aspect of their lives. Now, consider the alternative. Picture a home packed with decades of accumulated items. Every corner is filled with old knickknacks, broken appliances that might one day be fixed, and stacks of paperwork that were never properly sorted. The kitchen counter is cluttered with random objects that have no place to go. Closets are bursting with clothes that have not been worn in years but are kept just in case. Each day, you wake up knowing there is something that needs to be done. The to-do list never ends. There is always an item to repair, a space to clean, or a pile to sort. This cycle creates a mental load that is as heavy as the physical clutter itself. Research has shown that physical clutter is linked to increased levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that triggers the body's fight-or-flight response. People who describe their homes as messy or disorganized are more likely to report feeling anxious and emotionally drained. For older adults, this stress can have an even greater impact. As people age, their capacity to manage stress decreases, and the physical demands of constant tidying and sorting become more challenging. Stress is not just an emotional experience. It has tangible effects on health. Elevated cortisol levels over a prolonged period can weaken the immune system, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of heart disease. For seniors, whose physical health may already be more fragile, this added strain is significant. The simple act of decluttering and reducing commitments can have a profound impact on mental and physical well-being. By creating an environment that is clear and calm, older adults often experience better sleep, lower anxiety, and a stronger sense of control over their lives. They no longer feel like they are running on a never-ending treadmill. Instead, they walk at their own pace, fully present in the moments that matter most. The solution is as simple as it is powerful. Simplifying your life after 70 can lead to greater happiness, less stress, and more time for the things that truly matter. It's important to understand that simplicity does not mean living with nothing. Instead, it means living with intention and purpose. Many people in their later years realize that it's not the accumulation of things that leads to fulfillment, but rather a focus on what truly adds value to their lives. As we grow older, we often find that the constant striving for more, whether in terms of possessions, social obligations, or personal achievements, no longer brings the satisfaction it once did. By simplifying, you make room for what is important, which often revolves around relationships, health, and personal peace. A study conducted by Dr. Joseph Ferrari, a professor of psychology at DePaul University, highlighted the impact of simplifying physical spaces on mental well-being. His research revealed that people who reduced clutter in their living spaces experienced significant drops in cortisol levels, a hormone linked to stress. Dr. Ferrari's work demonstrated that physical clutter is not just a visual annoyance, it can actually contribute to mental clutter, leading to feelings of overwhelm and a constant sense of being rushed or disorganized. The clutter in our environment often mirrors the clutter in our minds, and by reducing physical distractions, people can create an atmosphere that fosters calm, clarity, and well-being. This reduction in clutter provides a mental and emotional reprieve that is especially valuable in later years, when stress can have a more significant impact on overall health. Case studies offer further insight into the transformative power of simplifying. Take, for example, the story of Linda, a 72-year-old retiree from Ohio. For much of her life, Linda believed that a large house filled with just-in-case items was necessary for security and comfort. Over the years, she accumulated extra kitchen appliances, old clothes, and piles of paperwork. She felt attached to these items, thinking they might come in handy someday, even if they had not been used in years. But when her husband passed away, Linda began to reevaluate her priorities. She realized that her large home, filled with things she no longer needed, was weighing her down both physically and emotionally. It was around this time that Linda decided it was time for a change. She made the decision to downsize to a smaller apartment and embarked on a process of letting go. Over several months, she donated or discarded more than 60% of her belongings. She gave away furniture, old clothes, and books that no longer served her. It was a difficult process, but one that brought her immense relief. Within weeks of making these changes, Linda noticed a profound difference in her life. She described the feeling as if a weight had been lifted. "I felt like I could finally breathe. There was so much space, not just in my home, but in my mind," Linda said. The process of simplifying her surroundings created an environment that was more peaceful and less stressful, and this sense of calm spread to other areas of her life. Linda's story is not unique. Many older adults who embrace a simpler lifestyle report feeling less burdened and more content. By letting go of possessions that no longer served a purpose, they were able to focus more on the things that truly mattered, such as spending time with loved ones, enjoying hobbies, and taking care of their physical and emotional well-being. In Linda's case, the process of decluttering not only transformed her living space, but also had a profound impact on her mental health. The act of simplifying became a path to a greater sense of freedom, making her later years more enjoyable and fulfilling. The key takeaway is that the simplicity of life after 70 isn't just about physical possessions. It's about making space, mentally, emotionally, and physically, for what truly enhances your happiness and well-being. Another reason simplicity leads to happiness is the freedom it provides. When you have fewer financial obligations, you reduce stress, and this can significantly improve your well-being. People who spend less on material possessions tend to feel more financially secure, as they are not constantly worried about their bills, loans, or keeping up with the latest trends. This feeling of security becomes especially important after 70, as many retirees live on a fixed income. For older adults, managing finances can become a major source of stress. Research from the American Psychological Association indicates that financial stress is one of the leading contributors to anxiety among older adults. When people simplify their lives and reduce unnecessary expenses, they often feel more in control of their finances. This sense of control brings a sense of peace that can be difficult to achieve when constantly managing the pressure of financial obligations. By living simply, older individuals can ensure that their resources are spent on what matters most to them. This may mean reducing spending on things that provide temporary satisfaction but do not contribute to long-term happiness, such as unnecessary gadgets, high-end luxury items, or extravagant vacations. Instead, they can focus on more meaningful experiences, such as spending quality time with family, pursuing hobbies, or investing in health and wellness. This is a mindset shift that becomes easier as one gets older, especially when retirement looms and people have more time to reflect on what truly matters. The act of simplifying one's lifestyle, particularly financially, offers a sense of freedom that many older adults find liberating. It allows them to prioritize their happiness and well-being without the constant pressure to acquire more. Consider the case of George, a 75-year-old former business owner who learned this lesson firsthand. George had spent much of his life acquiring and maintaining wealth, and for years, he lived in a large home, drove a luxury car, and owned multiple vacation properties. At the height of his success, George felt proud of his possessions and the lifestyle they represented. However, as he got older, he began to realize that maintaining these things was consuming more of his time and energy than he was willing to give. He found himself constantly managing maintenance tasks, handling big bills, and worrying about the future. George recognized that the time and effort spent on these possessions were taking away from his ability to enjoy life in a meaningful way. He made the decision to downsize. He sold his second home, traded his luxury car for a more modest vehicle, and stopped purchasing expensive gadgets that only added to his stress. When reflecting on his decision, George explained, "I thought I'd miss those things, but I don't. What I gained was time. I'm no longer dealing with maintenance issues or big bills. I'd trade all that stuff for peace of mind any day." George's story is a powerful example of how simplifying life can lead to a deeper sense of happiness and freedom. By removing the financial and emotional burden of maintaining unnecessary possessions, he was able to reclaim his time and focus on what truly mattered. His decision to live more simply brought him greater peace of mind, proving that happiness in later years often comes from reducing the complexity in life rather than adding to it. Time is perhaps the most precious resource after 70. Simplicity gives you more of it. When you are not burdened by excessive obligations, you have the chance to spend your days doing what you love. This might mean reading a book, gardening, or spending time with family and friends. In a study by Dr. Tim Kaiser, a psychology professor at Knox College, it was found that people who prioritize time over money tend to report higher levels of life satisfaction. His research suggests that time affluence, or having control over how you spend your time, is more important for happiness than wealth. People who choose simplicity often find that they have more time for joyful activities, and this shift has a profound impact on their well-being. Connection also plays a crucial role in happiness. As people age, social bonds become more important. However, these connections require time and presence. Simplifying life allows older adults to prioritize relationships. Without the distractions of stuff or endless to-do lists, there is more room for genuine connection. Researchers at Harvard University conducted a landmark study on adult development that spanned over 80 years. The findings were clear. Strong relationships are the most significant predictor of happiness in later life. People with close, meaningful relationships experience better mental health, physical health, and longevity. By simplifying commitments and possessions, older adults can nurture these relationships more deeply. Consider Mary and John, a retired couple in their 70s who decided to slow down their lifestyle. They stopped saying yes to every invitation and chose to spend more time together at home. Mary shared, "It's funny. We used to think we'd miss out if we didn't do everything, but now we're happier just being with each other. Our conversations are deeper. Our connection feels stronger." Physical health also benefits from simplicity. Excess stress is known to have a significant negative impact on the body, weakening the immune system, increasing blood pressure, and contributing to the development of heart disease. These health issues are especially concerning for older adults, as they are more vulnerable to the long-term effects of stress. Simplifying life is one of the most effective ways to reduce this stress, creating an environment that supports both mental and physical well-being. Older adults who decide to declutter their homes often report feeling physically lighter. This feeling is not just a metaphor or a fleeting sense, it is directly related to the reduction in stress that comes with removing excess possessions and distractions. Studies have consistently shown that mental clarity and reduced stress lead to tangible improvements in physical health. For instance, research from the Mayo Clinic has demonstrated that sleep quality improves significantly when individuals reduce mental and physical clutter. This is crucial because sleep is foundational to healthy aging. Good sleep supports immune function, cognitive health, and emotional well-being. As people age, their sleep patterns can become more disrupted, and improving the quality of sleep can have a dramatic impact on overall health. By reducing the clutter in their lives, older adults can experience better sleep, which leads to increased energy levels and greater overall vitality. This in turn makes it easier to stay active, exercise, and maintain a fulfilling lifestyle. In addition to improving sleep, a simpler life can also lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease. Excess clutter, both physical and mental, often leads to an overwhelming feeling of being out of control, which can trigger the body's stress response. Over time, this constant state of heightened stress contributes to the development of chronic health conditions. When people simplify their surroundings, they create a more peaceful environment that reduces the triggers for stress, ultimately benefiting their cardiovascular health. The connection between simplicity and health is particularly important as people age. Older adults who prioritize a simpler life often experience better health outcomes, as their reduced stress levels make it easier to engage in healthy behaviors. They are more likely to make time for exercise, enjoy social activities, and take care of their overall well-being. With less mental clutter and fewer distractions, they can focus more on the things that truly matter to them, leading to a healthier, more fulfilling life. Finally, there is the mental shift that comes with simplicity. As people age, they often realize that the constant pursuit of what's next or what's missing is not the path to happiness. Instead, they begin to focus on the gratitude for what they already have. This shift in perspective can be incredibly transformative. Gratitude is not just a passing emotion, but a powerful driver of happiness. When people begin to appreciate what they already have, they often feel more content and fulfilled, even if they have less than they once did. This focus on gratitude leads to greater emotional well-being, and it is especially important as people grow older and find themselves with more time to reflect on their lives. Research published in the Journal of Positive Psychology provides strong evidence of the positive impact gratitude can have on life satisfaction. The study found that people who practice gratitude regularly experience higher levels of life satisfaction and reduced symptoms of depression. The act of giving thanks for the simple pleasures in life, whether it is for a beautiful day, the company of loved ones, or the small victories of everyday life, can have a profound effect on an individual's overall mental health. Gratitude helps shift the focus away from what is lacking or what is yet to come, and instead brings attention to what is present in the moment. When older adults simplify their lives and reduce distractions, they often find that they have more mental and emotional space to cultivate gratitude. In a world filled with constant noise and pressures, it's easy to overlook the simple joys that are available to us at any given moment. Yet when life is simplified, people become more attuned to these moments. They notice the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a cup of tea, or the laughter of a grandchild. These small but meaningful moments become a source of joy and fulfillment. Simplification often leads to a greater appreciation of the present, allowing older adults to embrace the now rather than constantly chasing after future goals or material possessions. For many, this shift from more to enough is the key to true happiness. In earlier stages of life, people may have been focused on accumulating more possessions, more achievements, more experiences. But as people age and simplify their lives, they often come to realize that enough is all they really need. This realization leads to greater peace of mind and emotional well-being. When one is content with what they already have, there is less pressure to constantly strive for more, and that weight of expectation is lifted. This mental shift towards gratitude creates a sense of inner peace, which is often more fulfilling than any external acquisition. In short, the belief that happiness comes from having more is deeply flawed. The research is clear. Simplicity leads to peace of mind, better health, stronger connections, and a deeper appreciation for life's simple pleasures. People like Linda, George, Mary, and John discovered this truth firsthand. Their stories, along with decades of psychological research, show that after 70, the simpler your life, the happier you'll be. If you find yourself feeling weighed down by possessions, financial worries, or endless obligations, it may be time to take a step back. Ask yourself what truly matters. The answer is often not more, but less. By choosing simplicity, you are choosing happiness. And that, as many have found, is the greatest wealth of all.